Do you want to know what's better than a lot of money or even super exotic cars or even knowledge? Pokemon cards! Welcome to the second vlog of reselling Pokemon cards. In this vlog, I'm going to talk about what it would take to be doing this full time reselling Pokemon cards, and also I'm going to be talking a little bit about how you can ship these Pokemon bulk cards to me to sell them so you can make more money and buy the new set. Let's get into it. Okay, so the first thing I'm gonna go over is how you can sell your Pokemon bulk to me. Now, if you haven't sold bulk to me before, first of all, you can contact me directly at collectingcommunity@gmail.com. And then we can tell me how much bulk you have. I can tell you my rates. How I do payments is I pay half when you ship it out, and then once I inspect the cards, everything is good, looks good, everything made it fine, then I send the other half. So reach out to me if you're interested in any of that. It is profitable right now for you to sell your bulk. Not only do you get rid of cards and free up space, but you will make some money out of it. So let me go over how you can go about sending your Pokemon bulk to me. Depending on how much bulk you're trying to send, the process will vary. However, I'm going to go over sending large amount of bulks to me, like 6,000 cards. So when you're sending 6,000 cards, you do need to be particular on how you ship it. Otherwise, it might not be worth it. So to make it worth it for the shipping, you want to use USPS flat rate boxes. That means flat rate boxes means that whatever the weight is, doesn't matter what the weight is, as long as it can fit in the box, it can ship. Don't use your boxes. Any regular box size is different. That is depending on weight, and you will be charged way more than you should to ship it. So that's number one. Get you a priority large flat rate box. It looks like this when you go. It's free when you go inside of your USPS store. You can grab it. You can also get these mailed directly to your house. But anyways, once you have that and your cards, the only other thing you need are team bags. Like these here, you can buy these online. That would be the best bet. That'd be the cheapest. Or you can go to your local card store, but that will be marked up. But anyways, it looks like this. And what you're trying to do is put the cards in there, as many as they fit, and it will look something like this. All right. And once you fold up that large priority box, then you can go ahead and lay them out or horizontally stand them up. It's up to you. But you can fit 6,000 cards in a box. Now, based on my rates and everything like that, it is worth it to even send commons through this method. So that's how you go about sending Pokemon bulk to me. So the first thing I do is usually I have to ship orders throughout the day. I am part of the tcgplayer direct program, so they'll ship orders for me, and then I'll ship orders, the cards to them every so often. However, these are the ones I have to ship myself, and these are like about 20 or so orders, which is more than I'm used to because of I feel like the lot has increased it. Like this sale here was for the Charizard. 115, which is awesome. And then the Charizard slab I put on eBay. So let's take a look at how that's doing. So I put the slab up on eBay. Usually I put up something like this, take a front and back picture. Even though it's slabbed up and it has a grade, I think front and back pictures are necessary because someone might be looking for a slab to regrade, and they want to see how the centering looks and then all the spots and everything like that. So I recommend front and back pictures. Also, I recommend when you're listing, find a successful listing on eBay already, and then there's an option, sell one like this, which will populate all the things that it needs, like all the fields that you need to provide. So it makes it a lot easier to sell as well. If you guys want to hold more in-depth video on how to sell successfully on eBay, let me know. I have hundreds of sales and 2 different accounts, but let me know and I can go over that more in detail. And it is a trustworthy platform, eBay. They have a really good buyer guaranteed. So if you buy something and you don't like it, they'll guarantee that you can get your money back. And obviously, if you guys don't know, eBay bought tcgplayer. So if you're talking about tcgplayer and eBay, they're really the same thing now. But yeah, quick update on the slab. I'll let you guys know as it progresses how the auction is doing. I recently sold a Evolution VMAX, the Leafeon VMAX Evolution on eBay. It did really well. I think cards are doing really well right now because people are getting their tax returns, which that's what I got from last year. That's the pattern that I'm seeing from last year. So I'll keep you guys updated. That's what's going on with the Zard slab. In conclusion, to wrap things up, I want to mention 3 points if you want to do this full time to consider. And by the way, I am not doing this full time. I have other side gigs. I like diversifying my income. I don't rely on one specific thing. However, this is something that I'm doing more and more of. I have been reselling Pokemon cards for a couple years now, over 2 years now. So I do know what it would take to go full time. I have been doing it more and more now. But based off everything that I've learned, what it would take, number one would be having some sort of machine, because in reality, and machines are expensive. I know they're like 10,000 or so more dollars. That 10,000 would be the cheaper end one. But anyways, having a machine is super, super key to something like this, because selling Pokemon cards is a thin margin. You need a lot of them to make good money. Buying them and selling it, buying itself is not a lot of cost, but shipping is where the margins just get cut. And then obviously if you're selling through like a third party like tcgplayer, they take a cut out of that as well. So at the end of the day, if you're selling like one card, you can even lose money based on everything, based on shipping, supplies. But it is worth it if you take accumulation. For example, I've taken a look at profits for the last month, expenses for the last month, and everything averages out. I mean, you might have a card here that sells for a little bit, but then you have an order that sells a lot of cards. So at the end of the month, things do average out. So it is worth it, but I'd recommend having a machine. There are thin margins selling Pokemon cards, so you have to sell a lot, especially with bulk, right? The higher end cards you go up, the more margin you'll be faced with. Obviously, the deals that you find, things like that, all play a role into it. And then the last thing that I want to mention is you want to try to have a good, steady supply of inventory, right? Selling cards, especially bulk, will require a lot of it. So you want to try to have a good system of inventory to find. Usually I do is go to Facebook Marketplace or eBay. eBay has good lots. And you want to do your due diligence, see what other people are offering. Try to buy for as cheap as possible. Obviously, you're reselling it, right? And like I mentioned, thin margins with shipping. So you do want to buy as cheap as possible. But yeah, inventory would be the last thing to really think about. Some things to think about, food for thought. Even if you're not a reseller, hopefully this give you an insight as to how the process works, behind the scenes stuff, how you get your Pokemon cards if you do buy it from places like tcgplayer. All right, that's it for this vlog here. Appreciate you guys watching. I'm always looking for recommendations as well as what you guys would want to see in the future. So if you have any of those, I'll be looking out in the comments. Drop a like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Later.